Captain America, pfft, who needs that guy when you have Captain Marvel? This was kind of just like a shameless plug to show you how I got this really cool pin. What's up guys, James here from Reflect the Screen, and today I'm going to go ahead and dive into Captain Marvel, the latest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A film that is actually going to take place before the Avengers Initiative with a graphically enhanced, or dehanced, I don't know how to put it, Samuel L. Jackson and Agent Coulson. This film, directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, proves to be one that is a different take on the origin superhero film. While it does have traditional beats, honestly, I think that there are some cool elements that separate it from some of the other Marvel Cinematic Universe films that take on that origin tale, and I'll explain why. But before we dive into the pros and cons, let's get into the story for those who might not be so familiar with this tale. Brie Larson plays Captain Marvel, or as some know her on Earth, Carol Danvers. She's accompanied by Nick Fury throughout most of the movie as they try to put a stop to this invasion on Earth. You thought I was going to get deeper into the story, but if I did, then unfortunately I think I'd be spoiling some things. So this is a spoiler-free review, you guys. Captain Marvel really is that character that is like the spark for the Avengers Initiative. So it's really neat to see how the events kind of transpired ahead of what we love to know, which is like, you know, the Avengers of Captain Marvel that include Iron Man, the Hulk, and so on and so forth. Now, let's dive into the cons of this film. So while there aren't a ton of negatives, I think the movie starts off really weak. The first half of the film is incredibly choppy. You have choppy editing, choppy CGI, choppy pacing, and just a choppy narrative altogether. I don't think anything really flows very well, and there's a lot of exposition just for exposition's sake. You have an issue in terms of tone in that first half, and there's also the issue of Brie Larson not really diving into the role as much as she really wanted to. I think she was holding back a little bit in the first half, but then you start to see her fall into the role, and she really does just get the wheels turning, but I'll save that for the positives of this film. I think another huge negative is something that the MCU really prides itself on, which is humor. This movie, it basically, a lot of the jokes, 90% of the time, just fail. They fall flat on their face. Yeah, there's that 10% that really does hit, and it actually makes me laugh. But for most of the film, I think the humor was a little misplaced and not as well executed as it looked on paper. But that's about it for the negatives. For the positives, I mean, geez, when Brie Larson fits into that role, when the gears start to turn in the middle part of the film, you start to see her dive right into the role. And it's fantastic. She does a great job in the second and third acts of the movie, and really does hit a home run in that climax portion of the film. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Now, on the surface level, it's easy to see where they put most of the CGI in, which are the big battle sequences, and Samuel L. Jackson and Agent Coulson's face. I say Agent Coulson, but I mean Clark Gregg. It's really neat that it wasn't so distracting, and you can still like see their natural movements of their face. So I thought it was, a great job. It's a testimony to just how the CGI, when used properly in the MCU, can really deliver. Speaking of Samuel L. Jackson, him and Brie Larson have this awesome chemistry together. They play off each other really well. There are some funny jokes that they exchange, and that some of the coolest moments of the film involve these two. You know, when Brie Larson needs a little bit of help in terms of her charisma, as a character that is, Samuel L. Jackson boosts her up. When Samuel L. Jackson has a lot of doubt, and when Nick Fury is very confused, Brie Larson comes in and is a friend at that time. So it's kind of neat how they have that buddy cop dynamic, and I think the film does really well to just let them have fun, and that's what's important for these two in this film. Something I mentioned to myself and out loud, I think. Sorry for those who might have been sitting next to me after the credits. This film is really a fun science fiction movie. While it doesn't feel like a science fiction movie at times and more of like a superhero, like, you know, that origin tale, I think that the movie itself, at its heart, is a sci-fi film, and it's easy to see it that way because Jude playing one of the Kree, and then you getting to know more of the Kree population, and then you see the Skrulls, and Skrulls are shapeshifters. It's really easy to kind of put two and two together and think, oh, this is just like, you know, aliens versus humans in some moments, but then it's also just very tropey, but in a good way. So it's campy, it's fun, and that's how the film really thrives, and that's where it thrives, to be honest. And also, for you MCU diehard fans, let me tell you, there are enough Easter eggs in this film to have you gawk at. I mean, you can just like look at some of the intricacies in this film, the little things, and you're like, yeah, I know this because I've seen the other 500 movies. So while this is just a mid-tier Marvel movie, and it's never going to really linger as the great, it's not gonna be a top 5, might not even be a top 10. What this movie does great is that it's just good at creating its own identity as the film progresses. So what you get at the end of the movie is just a film that centers around women empowerment that, boy, they have a great sequence at the end there. And also, it gives you sort of that deep dive and look into how the Avengers really started. So that's what this movie does. It serves its purpose well. And at the end of the movie, you're thinking, boy, I think I spent my 2 hours pretty wisely. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this review, go ahead, comment below, let me know what you think or what you're excited to see. Like this review, and subscribe for more content from Reflect the Screen. And check us out on social media, Reflect the Screen on everything. I promise, we're there. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.